Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So CIG fires some more of their workers. Well, yes. What do you expect after working them like mules? You fire them, right? That's the right thing to do. Cloud Imperium Games, let's go. Some staff following CitizenCon. Star Citizen developer hit with more layoffs. Now, guys, I believe in capitalism. I think it's great that if you have work, you hire people. I think that if you don't have any more work, you fire people. That's the way the business works. Now, you can't have things both ways. You can't claim to be working and making, and then you cannot claim to be this, virtuous company looking out for the rights of the little man and then fire people after working them like animals 7 days a week, just squeezing every little drop of blood you could from them right when you needed the most, and then all of a sudden you go like, screw yourselves. I mean, yes, there's a process, there's a moments in which you may get rid of people because it's not working out. And it's also interesting, aren't they like a big company? Isn't CIG like enormous with a lot of money, and they just can't cope with all of the work they need to do, and they would love to have more people working? Isn't that the story that they were selling us? Well, apparently not. Apparently they really can get and of all people, quality assurance. That's the people they fire. Following a hectic period before CitizenCon, during which staff were mandated to work 7-day work weeks, Cloud Imperium Games have just reportedly laid off some of its staff. Again, I'm okay with companies firing people when it's just what needs to be done, but there's something shady, greedy, and disgusting about using people and just making them work after hours like crazy, and now you're done. Go screw yourselves. You know, speaking with our own sources, we can confirm that Cloud Imperium Games has been letting some of its staff go these past couple days, but we're currently unable to verify the extent. I think it was like 12 people. So it's, yeah. And they have fired people 9 months ago, right? At the time of the writing, several sources said layoffs have mainly affected the studio's QA, quality assurance department. If there's something that they cannot afford to lose a single person, is quality assurance, unless they actually don't care about it. And that the number of those laid off isn't as large as it's initially made out to be, with one source estimating around a dozen currently affected, 1% of total workforce. Yeah. That being said, still early days, fairly early days yet, and the history of laying off staff over an extended period of time. Earlier this year, yeah, CIG quietly laid off an estimated 100 or so staff. Are they going bankrupt? I don't know. I think they're not doing great economically. I think that the money that they have, which is way too much, they just burn through it, or they just allocate in specific assets so as to build up a very interesting portfolio for Chris Roberts and his buddies and his family. But I think that's a lot of money that's not being correctly managed, and I'm not going to say beyond that because I don't want to get into trouble, but I think that it's suspicious. I think that with so much money, investing it in real estate is maybe not first thing to do, especially not when you don't even have the freaking game done, right? You're building up your own Disney, you're making models of things and thousands and hundreds of thousands on props when you don't even have the game, and you have to fire people because you obviously cannot afford to keep them. Because if you could afford to keep them and you have to finish a game, why are you firing people? If you want to make sure players and bankers have a good experience, why are you firing people from quality assurance from all of the options that you have? As Austin and LA offices, which took weeks, is even making affected employees sign NDAs to prevent them from talking about being laid off. That is shady and scummy. Yeah, well, you know how this goes. The Space Simulator has raised an eye-watering $700 million in funds over the past 12 years, making Star Citizen far away the most expensive game ever put into production. It's not even 10% done. Despite the extended timeline and enormous expense, the game remains in early access alpha with only limited content available. Inability to maintain persistent Star Citizen character stats. Yep, you don't have any of that. First reports inside source has confirmed that the number of employees has been released over the past several days. Layoffs remain. One aside, 12 representing 1%. While those purported numbers are still low, the studio has history of letting employees go over periods. Well, this is basically the same thing. The move reportedly comes with no compensation. How is that? You don't get compensated when you get fired? What is it, in India? Where is this? For releasing of the employees, and is occurring right on the heels of an intensive period of mandated 7-day work weeks that led up to the IAE event. The IAE is one of the many similar in-game events that showcase new ships available in Star Citizen, allows prospective players to play the game for free and for a short period of time with no formal announcement from the company at present. The full scope of the layoffs and the reason behind them remains unknown. Well, we know that they have these people working like crazy, and then they just fire them when they don't need them anymore. They were maybe planning on, if I plan on firing someone, or if I plan on firing a bunch of people, I first squeeze them and make them feel like shit and make them work 7 days a week and make them sign an NDA, and then I let them go. When there's no, when I crush their soul afterwards, after the event, and okay, now I'm chilling. Now I don't even bother. I'm not even pretending to make the game anymore at this point. Who the fuck cares? I already sold my ships for this year. Let's see what happens later. Screw it. That is how CIG greed operates, man. Having let around 100 employees go in early 2024 amid accusations of fostering a toxic work environment. Despite failing to announce a release date for the full version of the game, Cloud Imperium Games continues to pile up cash. Piling up cash. But how much are you spending, right? So if you have this massive company with all of these people and all of the buildings and all of the bullshit and all of the marketing and all of the shilling and all of this, how much does it cost you? How much money are you bringing in? Because if you're losing money, you're gonna make it up until some point. The company financial reports show development costs sitting over $100 million annually for the past several years. How long that kind of spending can continue without a fully published title remains to be seen. I hope they don't go broke next year. That's all I'm saying. Even without a clear roadmap for full release, development appears to be moving forward. No, it is not. With a new star system, another content slated for Star Citizen later update. However, the massive game originally pitched to crowdfunding investors still seems light years away, with some critical wondering if it finished game will ever... No, it will never be done. Not at this rate. It's impossible. In Pyro, the new system, it's just empty. You have like a bunch of planets that's nothing. You have an animal, a bird, I think. It's in the same bird. You have nothing. We have nothing. Pyro is dead. There's nothing there. There's nothing there's not a single city in that game, in Pyro. Pyro hasn't got a single city. Pyro hasn't got a single original point of interest. It's all copy-pasted. It is an asset that they copy-pasted. The one you saw in the trailer, that is the same asset they copy-pasted all over the place. The starting location, the Relic space station, it's a space station copy-pasted 3 times. The 3 starting locations in Pyro are all exactly the same thing, copy-pasted. It is the kind of thing a 12-year-old does when he's making his first game. Not a $700 million company that's been working at this for 12 years. It is embarrassing, but that's the model they're going for. They could not care less. See you next time. Take care.